Hello, Nicole. Hello.
Hello, Eric. Hello, how are you?
I am so excited for this Big Brother Canada 9 recap show. But first, let everyone know wherever you guys are watching, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Did I say Twitter? All those places. Of course, YouTube. Hit that bell, thumbs up, and subscribe. It's a great way to help support our shows, as is sharing. Share the show now. Let everyone know that we're live and to get in here. Or if you're listening to it back later, share it when you're done with someone that you think might like it. Put it in your favorite Facebook group or tell a relative. You guys know the deal. Of course, if you are looking for any of our socials, mine, Nicole's, the show's, or Liza's, you can find all of those over on our website, hellofriendspod.com. Click on the Find Us Live page for all those socials, our schedule, and more. That being said, I just want to jump right into this episode, Nicole. So,
You distracted me. One thing you said, I thought you were going to say telenovelas. I thought you were going down a whole thing.
No.
So I was all ready.
No.
Give it to your actor friends, your actress friends, but whatever. Okay. On that note, I'm giving myself the honors of introducing our guest today, our friends. It is somebody who is a Big Brother OG. She is a boss. I'm so excited to finally get to meet her. It is the one, the only, Liza Stinton.
Liza! Woo! Hello.
Remember me, guys?
Of course they remember you. They love you.
Remains vocal on Twitter.
Queen, Liza, as the kids say.
Queen.
Robbed queen.
Actually, yeah. Peter and I were just talking how cool it would be, just saying, if everyone who went second in a double eviction got a second chance. Not first, because your ass was going home anyway. But everyone who got screwed in that intensity of a double or a triple, bring us back.
I would love to see that. I always say to like a season of like all pre-jurors, like all the people that went out like first or second. That's what I like to see as well.
I'm biased. I'm pre-jury, but even I've watched now 8 seasons since me, and some of the strongest, fiercest players, they go first because they're too much. They're too loud, or they're winning too much, or they're a threat. And yeah, I would love to see a season of pre-jury.
Me too.
I would too. And I always say, like, I would love to see, honestly, anybody come back, because I think, like, you know it. Like, you know the game your second time. Like, you know how production's going to manipulate things. Let's not manipulate. You know what I mean? You know the way production works. You know the way fans are going to react to things. I just think you're a more confident, informed player your second
Which could also
around.
make you more entertaining. Once you got a grip on things and you're not constantly in flux, you know when to give a good DR or give a good one-liner. And also, we were the first season ever in Canada, so I spent my entire time thinking that nobody was watching. That and then you realized everybody was watching. So if I could do it all over again, I would have hammed it up more.
See, I think I'm the opposite though. Like when I did it my first time, like I thought nobody was watching, so I was like, "Oh, I'm Nicole." And then my second time, I was like, "Oh my god, my family's watching." Oh my, like I was panicking too much.
Oh, I would have been. I'd be pretty nuts. Now that I realize there's an audience for it. Funny that.
Wow.
Right, because yes, it's Big Brother, and we love it. We love all the scenarios. We love all the ways that it goes down, and we're dying to hear what you think of this season, more specifically tonight's episode. But I guess before we jump into that, just what are your overall thoughts of this season? Is this a cast that you think is a great cast, or are you not loving the cast? Let's start with cast.
They remind me of season 3 in that they're all kind of nice people. They're just really nice. So there's no one who stands out as somebody I'm not going to be interested in talking to when the season's over and all that stuff. So, and it's interesting to kind of come out of quarantine, right? To come out of a year of COVID and they're just so happy to be around people. Like they're socializing more. Toronto is entering another lockdown tomorrow. I don't know if you've heard this, but we're the longest lockdown in the world, longest consecutive days. Like they're more social in there than me. And I don't know, I kind of like them all equally, which is a really lame thing to say. So my pivot is there's a lot of middle of the ground players.
Yes.
You know, it's just kind of a flat line, and not that they're dying, you know, like a medium line of goodish players.
See, it's
I'm trying
interesting.
to be nice. I just don't want to hear it on Twitter.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you watching the live feeds?
No, but I am on Twitter. I'm here. What's up? So listen, Vic is a player.
Yeah.
He's a hard player. Who else is playing the game? Unless they're HOH, so they're thrust in a position to play. Who do you think is really like playing the game?
Well, I mean, I would say Ty is playing, Jed is playing.
I think Ty's the last person playing.
Really?
I think Jed's playing. I think Jed walked right up into that HOH and really tried to pivot Beth away from Vic.
Yes. Well, Ty has, because he knows that she's probably never going after him. Here's what I'll say, because you said that and you actually got me thinking. I've been so in this mindset of this season is so great because we have had a back and forth. We have had the drama. We have had people not afraid to make moves, usually pre-jury. On normal Big Brother seasons, everyone is so go with the house, make the easy move, don't want to put a target on my back.
Pre the whole thing. I am loving this season. We were robbed of last season. We are all hungry for Big Brother Canada. It feels so good to have it back, to have them back in the house. Like I am loving every second of this. Yeah. And you're right. I will give you the separate alliances. Yeah, the separate. Yeah, you're right. That there's that votes could even be flipped because they're that close is very exciting.
Right. I would argue that feeling of it being very middle ground and steady is because it's not like there's one person where you're like, ass, go home, I don't like you. It's not like there's someone that you're like, win. Like it's kind of like every episode you kind of shift everybody on your totem pole. And I think that's why it maybe kind of seems that everybody's on this even playing ground when really it's just your opinion, like kind of keeping everybody like that's the average. Okay.
That is a great way to re-say what I said in a positive way. No, like you're right. That's exactly right. Because if you ask me who I'm rooting for, I am hard pressed to pick one person I'm just rooting for. And if you said, who do you want to go tomorrow in the double eviction? I'm good. Well, I mean, I'd like it not to be Rohan, but other than that, I think it's awesome. Like, I don't know. There's nobody I'm like, ew, get out, you suck.
It's like a middle ground then. It's not like a win-win, but it's not a go home. It's like it depends on the episode. I fluctuate every week with who I want to win. I feel like such a hypocrite all the time. Like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh, Ro and Kyle, they need to go. And now I'm like, great job, Ro. Get yourself off that block.
Right. But that's actually a good pivot of even the Rohan Brayden bundling is an essential pivot from both of them. You both lost your number one. You were lone wolves. You got to start realigning, man. You got to start reconfiguring. And honestly, they're doing a great job of that.
See, I'm fascinated by this because Nicole also kind of does it the way you do it. Like, keeps up with Twitter with the live feed updaters at BBCAN9 live feeds on Twitter. And she also loves Ro.
Yes.
I don't get what this Ro fascination is about as someone that mainly watches the feeds. So what is it for you? Like, why are you saying you don't want Ro to go?
I just think that's the most exciting thing. I think, like, Ro, I don't know, it being a Vic Ro back to back, like, womp. So what are we left with? Tina and Tara and the throuple and Kiefer. But like, no, I need Ro. Yeah, listen, I love the throuple, like as people,
Yes.
but I really hope the double is anybody but them and they go up, because that's the most exciting move.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And Eric and I, we've said that too in regard to like the three of them, in previous weeks. Like, when LaToya went home, we were like, no, one of them has to win, like get justice. And now it's like, all right, they've been in power. That's enough of that now. Let's shift. And my love for Ro, it stems back from him being a have-not forever. Like, that man has fought, and every week wins the veto. When his butt's on the line, wins the veto again.
Yeah, it's that underdog syndrome, right? Like,
okay,
he's the underdog, and you just don't want the underdog to go out easy. And he's putting up a fight, and we're here for it.
Yes, agreed.
I don't want to nitpick and play semantics. I'm just going to say this is what it is for me and why I don't feel that for. Let's just say we took the game aside. I feel like the edit isn't necessarily even giving him that like how when there's the underdog edit and you feel for the person, I don't even feel like they put the emotion into his edit. It's like, yes, he's on the block. Yes, he has to fight for the POV. Yes, this is, but I don't watch it and go like, ooh, I hope Ro makes it. Like,
what he needs to do? It's because he says it's the Ro. Let's go, baby, it's the Ro show. If he was like, this is for my kids.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, yes.
Oh, and I don't like when he talks to Arissa in the DR and he's like, what up, AR? Or AC? And I'm just like, her name's Arissa.
Yeah, but we see that, like, alumni see this through a different lens.
Okay,
so we see everybody as like a typecast, right? Mm-hmm. So for us personally, for season 1, Rohan is what they wanted from AJ.
Okay.
They wanted that Toronto slick Rick. Like, I feel like it took 8 years, but we got the AJ everybody deserved,
Yes,
so we're happy to see him.
I agree with that. I do agree that that's right. But yes, of course, they're always, casting the characters on the show. And I do like him. I always find it funny that people are like, Ro can't go. Ro can't go. I'm like, do you guys know about Victoria? The person causing all the drama and making the live feeds fun.
Because I'm on the Twitter device.
Okay.
Everyone's like, Vic doesn't deserve this hate. First of all, I'm not hating on her. Like, I don't know what's happening. But people want Victoria to go now because the reign has ended. From a entertainment point of view, 100%, she has been the source of all the entertainment, and this is a television show. But from a previous player game point of view, girl has to go now.
Yeah.
Where you don't think she's playing a bad game. You're saying you think because there are people that say her game is bad.
I'm of the opinion that you can either be a great character or you can win Big Brother.
Right. I agree.
So unless you're Evil Dick or Rachel Riley and have a ton of help from production, a real character is very unlikely to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you can play loud and you will go home, or you can be Andy Herron and you will win the game. You're either not in the DR for the first half of the game, or you are.
Or you are, and then you're gone.
I was in the DR, I got so much airtime in 11 episodes. I never won an HOH. I never won a POV. I wasn't on the block until I was up and out. But man, was I loud.
But see, I think that's where like it kind of gets like a gray area with Victoria, and it's unfortunate that I don't know if she is getting hate or people view it as hate or if it is really bad. But I don't hate on her. I think she's a tremendous human being. I think she's absolutely hysterical. I think it goes back to my wanting to root for an underdog. Like, to me, Ro, is the underdog. To me, Victoria is somebody who, like, okay, you did it. Okay, you did it again. Okay, you did it again. Oh, you tricked this person. You tricked that person. Okay. Like, it's kind of like the opposite. What's the opposite of underdog? Like alpha. Like, it's kind of like, all right, you did it. And for me, someone who roots for the underdog, it's like, okay, you're gone now. Now let's go after the next person that like is, getting big for their britches. But I don't hate on her, and that's sad to hear that she is getting that because I really like her as a person.
I would argue she's more of an underdog than Ro. She's alone in the game now. She
There's
has
a difference
nowhere
between being alone in the game and being
Yes.
aligned with the entire house.
Sure, 100%.
And I think she would have been better received if she just kept the ego in check. Like, you can win and you
Yes.
can make moves without literally saying things like, I'm the best player in Big Brother history.
Well,
And I would also argue being alone in the house is like, unfortunately, like a Josh, not a Victoria. Like, again, Victoria was lying with everybody. Josh was literally left to his own devices trying to figure it out.
Lone Wolf, I think, is the best place to be. I would have loved to have survived the double and been the Lone Ranger target number 1, because they're never going to go after the Lone Ranger. You're not a threat.
well, we're going to see if that's true. I mean, we know with Victoria what she's doing. I mean, she flat out said, I want to be a legend. I want to be the next Ica. I'm going to come in here, be a giant personality. And she, up until this point, has been doing that. But I think that's where fans disconnect. They don't want to hear you being like, I'm copying someone else, or I'm trying to do what someone else has done, because then I'll be the greatest. I also think people had a problem because she said the R word.
Well, that'll get you.
Yeah, so people were unhappy about that as well.
She's playing very big and loud, and honestly, like, if anyone could survive tomorrow, if anyone could, it will be her. And I love somebody who doesn't. Oh, like, I mean, I can't help but make it about myself because I was there. Like, I went out in a double, so it happened too fast. Like, I was a mental player, and I needed relationships, and I needed a minute. Give me a minute, and then I can manipulate the situation. I'm not going to win out an HOH and a POV back to back, and there's no time to talk to people, and I was screwed. Like, I wonder what I would have done. I wonder if my ass was on the block and I knew I was going home, like, what my campaigning would look like. Like, would I have just given up and thrown in the towel, or would I have been a Victoria or something in the middle? So I really, really commend the people who go full throttle and start making Final Four deals or safety weeks, or like.
And like you said, if anybody can do it, she can. Victoria is she's very creative.
I mean, I'm on the twit machine, and she's going hard, and I love every second of it. This is not the time to be subtle. Go ham. Say it out loud. Call people out. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Good for you.
She is calling people out. I mean, I'm actually wondering, because if tomorrow's episode is a double eviction, that's going to take up the majority of the episode. I'm almost thinking we're not going to get to see her blow up until Monday. And I have a feeling Monday will be like a before the double eviction flashback. Because how are they going to fit in the whole house meeting and argument and everything with everything
or
else?
They go fast. I don't know. They edit it down, because usually the next episode is the what happened, the talking as the double was happening. So if they're going to do like a before, no, they can't go back that far.
Well, then they got a lot to get into this episode, but I will say I retweeted it, or if you're following BBCAN live, BBCAN9 live feeds on Twitter, they have the entire thread of the fight house meeting. You can watch it all back. But yeah, I think she's in a good position where she might be able to stay, but it also, Ty is gonna have to be the one to convince Jed, and then I think Jed can convince Beth. And that's the only way it's really gonna happen.
That's a lot of steps.
I think there's zero chance. I think Beth isn't wasting her HOH on Tara going home, and she's not playing the boys' game.
I would argue keeping Vic is probably better for her game at this point than a Tara. you're keeping a pair in the house.
A pair who can't win anything.
Yes.
But don't you think that we're coming to the more... Well, we're coming to the more physical
No, I actually
comps.
just tweeted this. I said, Tara and Tina could not have needed and wanted that POV more. Womp, womp. I said, they will eventually win something, you know, comma, when all of the actual competitors have been voted out. And mark my words, they will call themselves a comp beast.
Oh, yeah.
But can't you argue though that that's almost like a strategy? Like let people fight it out, and then when they're gone, then start winning stuff. Like, because I'm from the mindset of like, if you get there, you get there. Like, Big Brother, a lot of it is luck, and you have to commend if someone's able to like not win comps and be bad at comps and still get there. Like I understand people have very choice opinions, especially about Tina and Tara. But I'm like, but you can't argue she still outlasted so many
the
people.
infamous. Yeah, I hate that strategy. I find it boring as anything, but yeah, I get it. You get there, it depends on what your move is. They're not going to win the game. I feel like I'll put money on it right now. There is a 0 chance that Tina and or Tara win Big Brother 9. It's just not a thing. You need a resume. First of all, you got to win out in the end. You got to win something if you want to control your destiny, or you're just dragged to the end and you will have nothing to say in your jury speech.
But what if they're both there? They're final 2.
0 chance. Well, let's put a wager on this.
Let's do it. Now I'm rooting for them. Now you made me
and Tara in the final 2.
God.
What a terrible ending to Big Brother Canada 9.
I mean,
guys.
It's clear that one of the trio's winning. Like, there's no way Beth, Jed, or...
know that.
Yeah, we do.
I think Keith or Bray could pull it out if you get a bitter jury. You could get a very bitter Tina, Tara, and it depends who's up against them.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
If it's Bray and Jed with that jury?
Imagine it's Bray and Roe. I'd be happy.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's a double. It's going to be physical, and not at all that I am saying I don't think that women can play the physical comps as well as the men. I am saying specifically now, to your point, I do not think Tara and Tina are going to outperform Ty and Jed in a double eviction physical competition tomorrow.
Can we please keep in mind here that Ty hasn't won anything either, so everybody's putting him on this pedestal. He hasn't won either. So you can't poop on Tina and Tara when they're on the full rowboat of no comps.
Ty is kind of sucking, and he kind of sucked at this POV too. Like, yeah.
Like, I love the guy.
I agree, but I am saying, I think the
Roe show's taking it. The Roe show's taking the double HOH. He's going 2 headshots, Jed and Ty. He can't play in POV. But who else do we have in the house? Brayden's gonna win the POV. Keep the noms the same. Imagine exactly that happens.
Wow. Imagine Tina wins HOH and Tara wins Veto.
Or imagine Jed and Ty win, Rose out, and then I say without a doubt that trio, 2 of them are in the final 2. Like, in other words, if Ty and Jed survive this double eviction, I say they are 100% at finale.
I think Beth is already jockeying to have somebody else do her dirty work and break them up.
Well, that is why she removed Roe. Her secret hope was Roe will go after them.
And Kiefer, don't forget, because Kiefer was the tightest with Vic. I think Vic's going tomorrow, but Kiefer is really loyal to the soil with the Sunsetters.
Yes.
So, like, Kiefer's an ally. It's not a 3, it's a 4.
I do always forget that. I do, but I don't forget it, but Kiefer is just as close with Tara and Tina, despite them in the edit tonight. It showed her being like, "You're not with me," and him being like, "I'm for myself." No, they consider him their closest ally as well, in my opinion. Kiefer has the ability to move anywhere he wants.
Imagine Kiefer takes the game.
That
gotta
would be
win stuff.
that.
Can you imagine? You know how intense the final three is? The final three HOH, the
Yes, we
three
do.
like. Oh, can you imagine like Kiefer, Tara, and Tina?
No.
Just like in that when Big Brother's gonna be like, zhoosh, when they're gonna have this great edit and the lights are gonna come up and they're gonna have a costume and then it's like, I'm tired. I can't throw the thing. Just saying.
Yeah.
You two are horrible. Listen, I'm rooting for them double time now because I'm sure people I'm gonna make it about me for a second. I'm sure people watched me and were like, that bitch can't win shit. She's gonna go home. And you know what I mean? Like, prove them wrong.
Yeah, it's cute. I like it. Okay, so Ro's gonna win. Put up the boys. Ray wins Veto.
And by the way, I hope Ro does win. The last thing I want to see after a season where we have had power shifts, we have had people making big moves early in the game. We don't ever usually get early games recently in the past, 3-4 years. We haven't had an exciting early game. Please, for the love of God, don't give me now where that
The
4
steamroll.
have
Yeah.
the numbers
Pretty
and,
boys
like
all
you
over
said,
again.
steamroll to the end. Because as much as I agree with you, a Tara, Tina, Kiefer finale episode is not going to be that exciting. I would also argue neither is Ty, Jedson, Beth. They're all just going to be
Agreed.
joking around like, oh my
We're
God, are you
so-
going to win? Are you going to win? Who's going to win? Oh my God. There's going to be
so
no
greedy.
drama.
We just want this back and forth for the
Yeah.
rest of the season.
Yes.
Who's gonna take it?
So we need Ro to win.
Yes, and that's where I'm at. I want to see
Yeah.
one of I guess they are a foursome, but one of the throuple to go, and then maybe like a Tina or a Tara goes, and it just continues to break away people's seconds and thirds and whatnot, and then it's all the stragglers are left. All
If Kiefer wins the double HOH, who does he put up?
He has to show his cards then, for
Yeah.
sure.
Uh-huh.
That's a great question.
I would
He
love
goes
that.
Ro and Ray because he's gonna be a wussy about it.
No, he's 100% throwing in Ro. Like even if you watched the whole fight with Vic from the other day, he won. Like Ro said something like, "Who's afraid of me? Who thinks I'm coming for them?" Kiefer raised his hand. So I mean, yeah, and Kiefer is the one who pushed for this plan. As much as we don't like Tina and Tara, or in the game. To be clear, we're speaking about them in the game.
Where are you coming from?
Well, in the game, they're a lot of the reason this happened this week. They very much planted those seeds that got Victoria backdoored. They pushed and made sure to say the right things to Beth when they needed to. They let her think that was her idea. And I will say I don't think they got a lot of credit for what they did this week. That being said, Kiefer 100% is putting up Ro. Who does he put next to Ro? I believe, I don't know. He said he would put Jed up. I don't believe that for a second.
I'm very distracted by my Big Brother headshot on the wall. It's right there. There she is. Because this was pre-digital when we had physical magnets up on the memory wall.
Uh-huh.
So we got physical magnets. I remember Amanda, like season 15, Amanda.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she came over to my house. They all did that whole season. She was like, took a picture. She's like, who has a headshot on the wall? I was like, no, it's my magnet. But yeah, it's right there, guys.
Why do I not remember that? So you didn't have the photo.
Because we were in the first house ever. We only had our house ever, season 1, and then they had the change studios.
Oh, wow.
So we were the only one in that house. We had nothing digital. So we had above the mantle in the living room were those colored photos. And then when we got evicted, it became a black and white magnet photo. And we have key cards. Like I have my key card in the other room. Like that they put around our neck with my name on it. They don't do that anymore. The stuff just goes up on the screen. That's how old I am, folks. That's how long ago I was on the show. It was not digital.
Don't mind me. I'm distracted by my ginger ale.
Oh, Canada Dry.
Yes.
Don't mind me. I'm distracted by nothing.
The viewers are like, what just happened?
Your balls. Your ball pit. Your ball pit. The ball pit behind you.
As Nicole said, I am distracted by my balls.
April Fool's, you saw my boobs.
Right. So,
It's
now
exciting.
I'm all distracted.
I'm happy to be here on this week talking to you guys of all the weeks. Like, Vic looked frickin' blindsided. I haven't seen a blindside nom, like renom like that. I mean, I don't know ever. I don't want to say ever in Big Brother history. Like, I'm just like, she was not expecting that. And we very rarely get that. And we know she's going to fight for her life. And it makes the double like that much more exciting.
Well, we know that you do not hold your opinion back. So weigh in on the next topic, or, you know, something from this week that a lot of people felt really passionate about. A lot of people felt that the DR told her that it was happening. So you say it's a surprise, but again, if you watched right after the POV ceremony, she was totally fine. She went into that HOH room. She had a calm conversation with them.
Bananas. I saw the bananas.
It was the greatest. See, this is why I have to give her credit as a good game player. I thought she handled post being nominated brilliantly. But yes, she said production tipped me off, or bananas tipped me off. So where do you stand on that? Do you feel, yes, production told her, or not?
Our season, I'm sorry, I keep going back to it. Our season was so unaffected. I promise you, we were never made to say anything, suggested to say anything, led in any direction. I said no a lot. They were like, Liza, talk about this. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And as the seasons have gone on, there seems to have been a little influence. I think that's kind of crappy. If allegedly, jury, production may have said something, and that kind of sucks if they did. It prepped her. We could have got fireworks, but that's Big Brother, man.
But here's, I'll just say this. Well, I'm going to say this because I want to know what Liza thinks about this, because this is the argument that I've been having with people. I 100% think production said something. Do I think they went, hey, Victoria, so are you prepared to be backdoored tomorrow? No. Do I think that they said to her, so you seem very confident heading into this POV ceremony tomorrow? Is there any part of you that still doesn't trust Beth? Do you think you might end up being blindsided tomorrow? Like, I think that they would put it like that because they want her reaction, her honest reaction, before it happens, and they put it in a hypothetical question.
Yeah, you're on, like, yes, I don't know what you're asking me. That for sure happened.
Yeah, so I don't think that's the same thing
they weren't
as
like they're not like no, but they frame questions in a way that you're like, oh, why? They're like, hey, do you trust so and so? Yeah, I mean, do you really trust them? And you're like, well, now I don't.
Yep.
So,
but here's the thing: they could be asking you that because you're like, you should be trusting them. Why are you not? Or they could be asking you that because, like, you know, you shouldn't trust them. Be aware. So you don't know. Like, I've been in many situations in the DR where they would ask me about people, and I would go, yeah, I trust them, and I know I should. And then I have people where I go, oh, wait, damn it, should I trust them? Oh, God, now you're making me think. And I think it's, you know, they have to ask questions. And one thing I will say, and I've always said this, is production can't air something if you don't say it. So like Liza, you're saying you said no to certain things. Exactly. There's people that have issues with things that were aired about them, and it's like, well, then why'd you say it? If you said it in the heat of a moment, you still have to own it. I don't care if you're having a mental breakdown or if you were fine. if you said something, you have to take ownership of it and not automatically blame production because they can't.
Oh, totally.
Unless they're dubbing in a voice, they can't air it unless you say it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think people should be more careful about what they say. Can we pivot for a moment to the throuple? This is really weighing on me.
We're allowed to
gosh.
pivot wherever you want. This is a show of hot topics.
I love it.
With
It's
Liza.
just us. Nobody else is listening, right?
No. Well, we got hundreds of people listening actually, and they're loving it. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So I'm getting. I know we're not to any fan questions yet, but there have been some parallels made, if you will, between Beth and I for being in a throuple because Nicole, I was in a little bit of a love triangle. Okay.
Okay, go girl.
Yeah. However, let me be clear.
I'm reveal. Does that count?
Yeah, that's a 3. I didn't even kiss 2 boys. So let's be really clear about, like, I was not physical with 2 boys. Okay. Asterisk, no shame, ladies. Do whatever the fuck you want. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. Or guys, just do whatever you want, with consent. And so a lot of people are comparing Beth to me for playing the boys in the house. First of all, I'm a fucking magnet. So my game strategy was not to play all the boys and make them all fall in love with me. It happened. I had to play it to my advantage. I went out early. It didn't work to my advantage that everybody was kind of falling in love with me. Beth, maybe or maybe not, brags on live feeds about grabbing a couple of packages. And this just sits so poorly with me because grab all the packages you want, girl.
With consent.
Everyone's listening. So to discuss the grabbing of packages and moreover the size of packages comparatively, I think is really, really bad form.
That's true.
And then she played 2 guys. I think she wanted Ty more. Ty was not interested. Like, yeah, COVID crush, he's not interested. If you really watch the internet, Ty was never going to be a thing. So she literally says to Jed, I picked you because you were paying more attention to me. That's on an episode. Basically, Ty decided he's over it. You really hustled. So I'm a bad bitch. Stop comparing me to Beth. I wasn't begging, trying to get somebody to love me or somebody to pay attention to me. She picked Jed because Ty wasn't paying attention to her. Mm-hmm. Then I will put Jed in the doghouse. Jed on the live feed says to Ty, I sealed the deal last night. And I think you all need to be, y'all who are ever going to be on the show, as Nicole said, if you don't say it, they can't air it.
Exactly.
And there were so many things I didn't say out loud, even if somebody maybe didn't shower that day and didn't smell the best.
Exactly.
I never went over to another house guest and said, so-and-so smells.
Yep.
This isn't it's such a trash thing to say. And I'm like, you do you, but don't gossip to your friends in the house because everybody can hear you. And I hope Jed kicks her whack ass to the curb the second they come out of the house. Or not, whatever, marry each other.
But to now play devil's advocate, in her bio, she flat out said, I'm going in that house, finding guys. I'm gonna flirt, manipulate, make them think that we're in a showmance, and then use them to my advantage and play them off of each other. So I think the difference, and I completely agree. She's nothing like you. I have not seen anyone comparing her to you, but I give her credit for, she said, this is my plan when I am going in, and she kind of is executing it, and it gives her an out a little bit postseason. A little bit.
No, you came full circle.
Yeah.
It gives her the out. If you're single and ready to flamingo, and you're like COVID crazy, you're like, oh, my strategy is going to be find all the guys and then grab all their packages and I'm going to flirt with them and I'm going to make them all love me. I'm like, yeah, that'd be my strategy too, girl, after a year of quarantine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I
You're
mean,
right though, but she can use it and say it was her plan the whole time. But they're falling in Big Brother LOVE.
I think too, though, it's also going to matter how the rest of the season plays out. If she ends up, let's say, bringing a Jed, I shouldn't say bringing, but a Jed and a tie to the final three, and then she gets bumped, it's going to be viewed more as like, oh, she was a stupid girl. But if she does take them to a certain point and then put them both up and cut one of them, and everybody's like, oh my God, Beth, she's the greatest person ever. Look what she did. I think that'll kind of like help determine how she's viewed. But I agree with Eric in the sense of like, she did say it was her strategy going in, so that's a little bit commendable.
You are 1,000% correct. It all depends on the play at the end, which it wasn't her plan. Everyone's going to play the cards they're dealt as they come out, and you're absolutely right. If she gets cut, it's going to look like she got played, or if she cuts them, it's going to look like it was her strategy from the start.
Well, there's my question for both of you, and I saw people asking this as well. Do either of you believe, let's just say she makes it to final 2 with her, Jed, and let's just go Tina. Is she, and it's her choice of who to bring. Is she cutting Jed or is she bringing him?
I think she cuts him.
I think she cuts him. I think she's the type. I don't think she's the type to be like, oh, but we've been together this whole season. I think she's more so the type.
She proved it this week.
Yeah.
By doing what she wanted to do for her game and not going with the boys. And if she's already feeling that now, the more intense it gets.
And look how she reacted to the whole Victoria thing. She was like, ooh, like I feel like a certain way. I feel like a boss ass like bitch. Like I did it. I think that feeling would carry over, especially if it's finale night. It's not like you have to wait a month to see Jed again. Oh no, it's finale night. You're literally walking out the door 2 seconds later to see him. So it's like, haha, I get rid of you. I won money. Yay. Oh, hi, Jed. Like it would just happen.
God, I hope this is the scenario so that we can see which of us are right. And I'm not just disagreeing to disagree. No way she cuts him.
I don't know. I think she would.
No way, because Derek and oh my God, why can't I remember her name?
Victoria.
No.
Cody. Oh, no.
Kayla.
Yeah.
Kayla is, in my opinion, a much more strong-willed female end player than Beth is, or we have seen, wouldn't you have said? And she took Derek, and she all along was like, no, I'm not going to take the guy with me. I'm going to use him. She got right to the end, and we're like, come on.
Come on, guys.
Come on, let's go. I'm going to give up my game for you.
But it's also so different when you're in it. And people, anybody.
That's my point. And I'm floored that you're saying she would cut him because it's different when you're in it.
Feels like 3 years. I feel like a month feels like a year. So they're going to be like in love.
Yeah. And he's going to lay it on. Like, I would never talk to you again if you cut me. And
Eric, though, you're not asking if I would cut him. You know what I mean? And I'm somebody who, if I was working with him the whole game, I'd be like, sorry, Tina. That's just my nature. You're asking me if Beth would cut him, and I do think Beth is capable of that. Yes.
Oh God, I do not at all.
I do. I think she can.
Oh, can we have that scenario, Big Brother? Let them
go.
We'll see. I want to see.
We have to reveal to Liza that, that was my strategy on my season because you didn't watch BB21. My strategy was fall in love with everybody, which is what I did. I seduced all 8 of the men. I was in 8 secret showmances.
Were you really? Oh.
She made it all the way to final 3.
I know you made it deep. I know you made it far. Who won your season?
Mickey. Jackson, Mickey.
I literally don't know who that is. Did you come to Vegas with us?
I did not.
No, her season was quarantined. It was like her season quarantined. No, I'm saying it was like your season ended, and then we were,
Jax.
I feel like we went right into COVID.
No, Vegas has
Square John. He's like a tight smile.
Yep.
He's the
Vegas
one
Vegas happened. I didn't go. Okay. No, that's not my bag. That's not my thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, now
Nicole
I'm
is
literally.
known for bringing the showmance to the final three.
I was gonna say, were you
However,
really in a third wheel? Like you were friends with a showmance?
They were a couple the whole time, and I was aligned with them like the second half of the game. So I made the joke that I was like the third wheel because we were
Love it.
together that whole last week, just like hanging out.
I love it.
and
Thank
we
you.
don't need to rehash this whole
The end.
nightmare,
Sorry about
but
that.
I do agree that so many people think it was not the smartest thing for game, but I really think it was the smartest thing to bring them.
Tried. But also, I didn't bring them. It's not like I won one comp and picked both of them. It was like, come on, you two. It was a series of events that ended
Sure.
up me and them two. Like, it's
Sure.
the luck of the draw. It's the way it fell, and I'm curious to see how this season's gonna unfold.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
gonna
Well,
be
let me
great.
ask you, because I did see, I think it was Courtney asked, what did we think of the comp tonight? So, I mean, we were kind of saying with it being a little bit physical, we were not that, I'm assuming you were not that impressed by the people playing?
Me?
Yeah. Did you like, I mean, we had Corn, Victoria.
I thought it was,
Are we
She's
talking
here.
about the caliber of the competition?
The caliber
or...
of the competition and the players. What did we think?
I love
Right. Well, now it just looks ludicrous.
Yeah.
But it's challenging. It was basically cornhole and ring toss, and
Yeah.
yeah, it looked difficult to use the spatula to throw everything on the barbecue. I don't know. This is Big Brother, though, right?
I don't know why they were acting like this was the hardest comp they ever did. Like, didn't one of them say, like, this is gonna
no.
take forever?
Eric,
What?
have you ever played cornhole or ring toss?
Yes.
It's
In your
frustrating.
yard.
It's frustrating. Now I want you from across a yard to take a giant spatula and swing them until they fall. It's frustrating. It's repetitive motion. Braden was saying his back hurt. Ty is extremely fit. He was all sweaty. I'd like to see you try to do it.
Oh,
I would've failed.
boo-hoo. An entire, let's just bring this up real quickly. Hold on here. So it's all the players are working together to get exactly what they want. The only person that really, no, Victoria's not in there. So they could have all just had fun with it.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they were all just like, meh.
They should
Tara
have
didn't
just
get
all had
a
fun with
single
it.
vegetable or a single item on her barbecue.
She was
No.
too little to swing that spatula.
Yeah, good luck in Final 3, Tara. Good luck with those comps. I'm sure they're going to be harder.
I
I'm
mean, nothing
hating on
could be
Tina and
worse
Tara.
than
It's just boring for me. But I guess you need variety.
Yeah, this is
I don't want
balance.
it to be all like 25-year-old athletes. That is not entertaining for me either.
no.
Mhm.
And to be fair, there have been guys that have done it too. We saw Tim Dormer give up on Final 3. He was just
Right.
like, I don't know. Oh well, just walk away. Didn't Dimitri have a problem where like he couldn't remember days, I feel like, or something? So it's not just the Tinas that don't do well, but I do agree with you. I was like,
It's not going to get easier, is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it's not
The
getting
spatulas
easier.
are going to get bigger, okay, guys?
And it's just like, if it's hard, I get that it's hard, but you're on a television show, so I would have made it at least entertaining.
You know what I would have done, or I'd be doing right now? A push-up.
Why? Oh, you mean before?
Actually, no, ever. Like, okay, it's not going to get easier than this. You have 1 month to finale. If your plan is to be there, maybe increase your endurance or physical strength.
But again, I like to play devil's advocate all the time. Look at Ty. Ty is extremely fit, and he was like struggling at times. He was
No, that's not what I'm
sweat.
saying. You can still suck. It was hard. You can still suck. But if I was
Yeah.
Tara or Tina, just one push-up.
And Tara's was more approach. She kept on doing like an overhand. I think it was overhand, like instead of like, oh, that's not working. That's like shoulder action. I should try to do it from under. Like she was not like switching it up. So
I
think
think
that's
over's the only way she could get it. I think she didn't have the strength that I think it was not. They weren't even hitting that barbecue. No hate. No hate. I love Tara. She's great. I don't know why. Just trying not to hear it on Twitter.
We've got a ton of questions, but in all honesty, most of the chats are saying, shut up, don't ask our questions. We're loving the conversation. Just keep going. But I did just see this one from Betsy that said, Nicole and Liza need to set up fake Big Brother challenges for Eric. Again, I'm not playing the game.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. Look around. I've been doing it for 10 years. I clearly can. So,
I know what I'm saying. You can't sit there and say, that spatula wasn't heavy. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you visit Canada when I wasn't looking and lift up that spatula?
I did not say the spatula was not heavy. What I said was, if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't be there like, oh, I can't do it. I would try and make it entertaining. I would be like, oh, I'm going to wear this one on my arm and this one on my arm. Oh, maybe if I worked out more, this would have been easy. Come on, let's try. You know you don't need to win.
Actually. Yeah. If you're just shitting the bed,
I'm on a TV
you might as well
show.
get airtime.
Yeah. Like, I would be there to entertain people. See, but this is the other thing. If I ever played Big Brother, I know I would have zero chance to win. So I would be there just to be entertaining.
That's how I feel if I ever went back, which I never will. But like, I'm like, just have the best time of your life.
Yeah.
And be ridiculous, because I'd probably go home early again.
Yeah, that is how I feel.
Have fun. I wish we could tell them all to have fun. They don't know. They're so jacked and they're so excited, and it's their big chance and their big show that they love, and it's so stressful.
Yep.
That's why I go back to saying I think anybody playing a second time, I love to see. I think they know to enjoy it more. And for the most part, most people enjoy it more, or have the opportunity to enjoy it more. Yeah, I know. That's why I said most people. So Victoria being shocked, she took it well. I mean, we talked about it at the beginning of the episode. The beginning of this show, we talked about it, that she was just like, oh, girl, what are you doing? And Beth's like, huh?
And it was like, and Tara's like, and Tina was like, what?
And Rose like, Rose show. I'm like,
I ain't gonna go.
Yeah, we get it. So tomorrow may or may not be the blow up.
It has to be.
It has.
They have to show. I think she's going, so they have to show the last ditch effort. Yeah. And the end. Like, the double can happen fast because they actually don't show the in between. It's Monday. They're going to show all the conversations and strategizing that actually happened in the middle.
Well, and they can edit it too, because I think it was Courtney asked, is the double eviction live? No, none of the shows are live. They record them at 1 in the afternoon.
But especially with no audience, they're actually not live. They're extra not live.
So they have tons of time to edit it. Yeah.
Victoria's already
not tons, but yes. I saw, I'm scrolling back, Sean Balds wants to know, Liza, who would you want to see on a season of All Stars? So is there anyone from this season that you would want to see on a season of All Stars, or that you think deserves to come back for a season of All Stars?
Vic will come back for sure, unless something major. I don't think anyone on this season qualifies for All Star yet, except Vic. So there's the rest of the season.
What do you think about last season? Do you think that any of those people should have been brought back this season?
Definitely not brought back this season. That doesn't make any sense. It's right, but we're all thinking that 10's going to be All Stars, and I think they will pick a couple from each season. That's how it's going to go. Like, it's not 10 actual All Stars, if I'm being honest. If you're going to do an All Star season, you have to at least represent every season once. Like,
I believe that.
Do you?
They already kind of did it with 5. You know what I mean? They kind of like, okay, you and you. So They don't have to, but I think they will. Canada works differently than the US. So I think in season 10, they will represent at least once the 9 that came before. Even freaking US All-Stars had Chicken George.
Okay, so you don't think it'll go 5 to 10. You think they'll go back to 1?
100%.
Okay, I hope so.
100%.
Well, with Arissa being in charge, I think they will, because I think Arissa would want that as well.
Okay, so there's an interesting thing. Like, I don't really want to pivot here, but considering this was the diversity season, are we going to get actual All-Stars, or are they going to make sure the All-Star cast is diverse?
Well, I think this goes also to my question of get rid of, not even a question, a statement, get rid of the title All-Stars and just say returnees season. I think the words All-Stars make people murderous. I think it makes Twitter angry. It makes the BB realm angry. I think once you put the term All-Star, because everybody has their own boxes you need to check, people get too angry. So I think just call it returnees. People return from each of the 9 seasons, and then it is what it is.
Bad marketing. They're going to call it All-Stars.
No, bad idea.
Well, we thought if you had 15, and it's almost like Survivor. Remember when Survivor had like beauty, brains, and brawn or something? So we should do 3, it's returnees, and it's 5, 5, 5, 5 comp beasts, 5 masterminds, and maybe 5 like out by a twist, redemption or pre-jury. Yep. But yeah, you don't want, I say you bring back the 5 comp beasts of all time,
like
the 5 masterminds of all time. And then I honestly forgot what the other category actually was, but it was really cool when we were talking about it.
That's cool.
And I mean, I would definitely say that there are players that would fit the new diversity standard that I consider all-stars that have played. So I don't think
there's a way to make it work. I just wonder how they're going to do it. Do
Right.
you start like your all-stars? I feel that's my boyfriend. I started walking the door. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yours, I literally think this one, they started with winners. Hey, Derek, will you come back? Hey, Will you come back? Hey, and then they went to runners up. It literally was like, okay, let's go from the top and like,
Well,
and then,
Nicole wouldn't be able to talk about that, but I could tell you that I think you're exactly correct. And then I think people were pregnant or got COVID last minute, or things happen like that. I'll just say
I'm probably right.
That's what I observed from watching things around me. But someone that I know close to me was always a person from the beginning, but I think I saw that cast change a lot for one reason or another as time went on.
And I think this would happen too. I know people who wouldn't come back. I know plenty of the alumni who are not interested in playing again. And it depends where you're at in life. Like, call it all-stars all you want, but like people have to be at a spot personally, like not pregnant and not have like an amazing job that they risk losing. Like, and also be an all-star or whatever, worthy of a returnee.
Way, but in all honesty, I don't know why any of you play the game in Canada. Everyone is always like, Eric, would you play? Would you play? Blah, blah. Yeah, I will play when the prize is $1 million because to me, $300,000 to play US Big Brother is not worth having social media and people follow you for the rest of your life if you say one wrong thing. Like, that's not worth it to me.
Or triple the length too. Forget the money. Survivor's 39 days. Like in Big Brother land, at day 29, I'm a pre-jury flop. In Survivor land, I would have been a legend.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And you had $1 million on the line. You have to be in that house for upwards of 90 days.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like Big Brother players, it's such a special breed where so many of it is oh, I'm a huge fan of the show. I want the title of winner. I want to go far. Or like, unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but as a mega fan, I'm more so on the other side of the spectrum. But the people that, oh, I want to go on there and get exposure and build my Instagram account and whatnot. Like, I don't think many people view it as, I want that 500,000. I think that's like the bonus to being known on social media or being the winner
And
of their
those
favorite
players
show.
usually aren't good players.
Our season was almost all fans because it was the first season ever, right? We'd watch US for 14 years. And every single one of us said we would have played for free.
Yep, that's
like
what
if there
I'm
was
saying.
no prize.
I believe it.
Those players I would love to see, like the people that say they want to play free. But I think if you increased the amount of money, you would get a better caliber of players playing the game as well.
We don't even get a ton of fans here. Like our population is less. Our land mass is bigger than yours, but our population is so much less. Like
you guys
if
get
you
like
appear
nothing.
We get nothing. We get 10,000 if we're lucky. Maybe no. Well, shoot, some can get up there, but 20, 15.
If you win,
20?
you're only getting 100, right? Before taxes.
No, I mean fans. I mean followers.
Oh, followers.
Oh, don't talk about how much money we're getting.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
We have no population, so you don't even really get followers. If you're on US, you're getting hundreds of thousands of followers like this.
If you're
Canada,
liked.
you could be like the best winner, and you won't even get. I mean, I don't know everyone's stats, but usually the people who have really high followers do something else.
Yes,
like they have a following or they're an activist. Like, don't come on Big Brother Canada for the fame. Do it for the $100,000.
That if you're not doing it because you love the game, you shouldn't be doing it at all.
It's such an amazing experience. Forget the cash prize. Forget the followers. Like, what a cool thing to say you did. And we're so tight-knit. Like, Canada is so tight-knit. Love each other or hate each other. We are one big happy family. We would always be, I would stand up for plenty of people I don't like in this family. And if they were in trouble, if like they texted me right now and were like, I'm in big trouble, I would go be there for them.
Yep. Dysfunctional, very dysfunctional.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think like, and then the new peeps come out and like Julie and Josh, and I'm just like, and we're all, hey, welcome to the fam, but we like mean it. We're like, is your brain okay? I'm here if it's not. Yeah.
Right. So how do you handle something with, let's say now if a Tina or a Tara's family's watching and they're going to be like, I can't believe, Liza, that you said they would be horrible in the finale. How are you going to, how do you
families
navigate that?
need to know their role and fuck off. Fuck off. You're not playing. Like, I did it in my season. Like Julian's family hated me and Emmett's family hated me.
Uh-huh.
And on finale, oh my God, I'm going to have so much shit for talking about them again. But like on finale, their families wouldn't look at me. These are grown adults. You know whose mothers walked up to were the two most beautiful human beings on earth? Gary's mom and Topaz's mom. Regardless of what silly, childish bullshit happened in this TV show we were on, they were the light that shines from those two women. I mean, everyone's fine, but like Gary's mom and Topaz's mom they just knew that their kids got thrown into this crazy thing, and maybe some things were said, but we're all humans and it's nothing but love. My mom kept her mouth shut. You don't think my mom was pained every time she'd watch a live feed and someone would leave a room and say something terrible about me? Do you think my mom went to Twitter? Never in a million years. She's a New Yorker.
Yes,
She'd want me to fight my own battles.
But you also know the show has the families run their socials.
I give zero shits. How about that? How about these people are going to come out of the house and we'll be fine. I'm not talking about them, they're personally.
Exactly.
Like I would never put somebody personally, their family or their life. I don't talk about the way people look or sound. I just talk about like choices they maybe made in the game.
That's exactly kind of how I wanted to end it, was to say, We're not talking about any of these people personally at all. We're talking about them as their moves in a game.
And now I'm gonna say no. The way I see it, no, because just like nobody will understand Liza, like what it's like to be in that house. Like I'll never understand what it was like to be BBCAN9. You'll never understand what it was like to be BB21. Like and people that have never been on Big Brother will never understand what it's like to be on Big Brother. I think the other side of that coin too is none of us will ever understand what the families go through or what our own families go through. And this is a topic for a whole other podcast. But when I came out of BB21, I was so, you guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. And it took me like probably a good 8-9 months to realize, oh shit, like my family went through it and they went through something totally different than what I was going through, but it's something that needs to be understood. And it needs to be like respected more. Like I think we don't give the families and loved ones enough credit. So that's like what I'll just say about that. And my last statement is to the families of Tina and Tara, prove them wrong, guys. Prove Liza and Eric wrong. Make it to final 2, win, and then you guys could be like, what of it? You said
We obviously love them as people. And the crazy part is they are going to come out. We don't have a finale, which really sucks this year, because usually we're all together at the end. And I would be nothing but so nice and maternal and welcoming to all of them. Never mind Tina and Tara. And then you would literally have Twitter being like, or even their families. You would have their families being like, no, she came for you. And I'm like, stop. This isn't this is our thing. Like, stop. Go home and talk about it amongst your family. I understand you went through something and you need to support them and they need to support you, but like the families, like, don't come for people on Twitter. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Stay out of it.
I 100% agree on that. I don't think the family should be on Twitter at all. But I will also say, P.S., that to Nicole's point, her family was not on Twitter at all. And they went through you can go through it without being on Twitter, which is to both of your
I'm
points.
not disrespecting the process. Let's be clear. I told you my mom went through it. She had to like literally see people bullshit to my face and then leave the room and say awful things about me. And then I remember she was so rattled when she came out and I was like, Ma, I didn't hear any of it. Why are you so upset? Like,
but you don't understand because she did hear it. So just like she has to see it from your perspective that you were in it and you built a family with these people and you didn't hear it. And it's okay, Ma, it's a game. You have to see it from her perspective where she was in front of a computer watching her baby girl get shit on. And that's something that took me months and months and months to realize.
I'm fine. No, I know. I'm not putting down their experience. Then again, they have a choice. So we don't have a choice to go through it. They have a choice to turn off the live feeds. But
see, I say the opposite. I say I had the choice whether or not to go on the show. They don't have the choice. They're roped into it. They're Strong Island Nicole's family no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm just no matter what, whether they're on Twitter or not. If people will say, go kill yourself, Nicole, they have to hear it.
Oh.
So you know, I'm very passionate about it.
We're all focused on the wrong thing, is that the families on Canada are forced to run the socials. I don't understand why that's a thing. The families should not be on, I agree. No family should be on social media running those accounts, period. No family should.
I agree.
I mean,
because it's a bunch of trash talk and a bunch of hate, and it affects you whether you know how cool you think you are or whatever. And it's not a job I would sign up for. So you're right. Maybe pass that off to a bestie.
Arissa, I'm calling Arissa. I'm putting it on my Arissa notes. I don't want that happening anymore. Okay.
Props to Arissa for picking a really fun cast, though. Like, I know she didn't have everything to do with it. She had a team, but like, you know, she gets a say this year, and like, they're also like, they're not only cool, they're good looking. Like, where did you come from all of a sudden? Where did these gorgeous, interesting human beings spring from?
Oh, I agree. I literally, without exaggeration, told my husband that he's lucky that there was no finale this year. Because, like, if Ty even hinted he was interested, I would be having an affair. I just wouldn't come back home from Canada. I'd have healthcare and Ty.
The boys are both so beautiful. And then Ro and Kyle, how were all four of them such tall drinks of water?
I don't know.
The four of them standing together, I would be like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Gorgeous
I'd be
cast.
Beth. Womp.
Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
or Braden, because apparently that could be a thing too.
They're all so beautiful. So thank you for mining that shaft.
Beautiful people.
Beautiful cast. Well, Liza,
Diamond.
where do you want people to follow you on social media to see the things that you're saying about this season or just to keep up with you?
On at Liza Stinton. Till
Thank
I
you.
die, bro.
Everywhere.
You're one-
Instagram.
Can I just say you have one of the best socials because you're just so easy to find. You type it in and there it is. No
I know. I
crazy
do. Whenever
no crazy
everyone says
letters.
like
No
they're like, I
underscores.
go, and I always want to see how fast I come up. I was like, okay, L, I. I always want to see how
Get
fast
the
I
Z
come
in
up.
there.
Yeah.
It's what
I
you
love
got to
it.
do. It's what you got to do. And I did see a lot of people also saying, is there anything, new and exciting going on in your life, Liza, that you can tell us before you leave?
Please follow my Instagram and watch my painful renovation. I bought a condo in Toronto in July and I gutted it. And we are at week 9 of 13. Or anyways, it is like, I mean, it was ripped to the studs. I like last week I had no ceilings, walls, doors, or floors. So I am praying it comes
Wow.
together in the next 3 weeks because I got to move in May 1st. But yeah, go to my Inst, the little highlight that says Reno. I think I'm delightful, but it's really just a construction site right now. But I think you'll really enjoy seeing it come together.
That's
You know
awesome.
that's
And I-
exactly
Batman. Pardon?
Are you so you're not sitting in it right now?
I am not.
Okay.
I was never gonna live through that. I kept this place and it's actually really close. It's like down the street. Yeah, please watch my renovation. Or
Okay.
you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's gonna look, the before and afters are gonna be like, holy moly.
That's
You know that's
cool.
exactly what I did as well.
What?
Bought the
you just did
house, gutted it, renovated it, documented it weekly,
Mhm.
didn't have roofs, things, door. And then I put it all together in like a time-lapse video.
See, I don't think I'm that cool. See, Neil from my season is a lot cooler at that. I'm not on the talk tick. Like, I think there's cooler ways to do video things. So it's mostly just like pictures and
No,
some
that's good.
Insta
We love that.
stories.
I love
Like,
that. I'm
I
gay,
hope
so
it
that's in my
really
blood.
comes together. Yeah, and the
Right.
ripping of the gutting it. It's fine. I just got a little nervous actually. I had to get really fancy doors because I'm bougie, guys. Like, wait till you see when it comes together. But I'm really expensive apparently, and I needed these really fancy custom doors, which are not arriving for 11 weeks. So I will not have doors for months, including a bathroom door.
Let's not tell people about your house.
Let's not announce that publicly.
So here's the thing, Liza. So am I. I consider myself like a bougie Martha Stewart. Problem is, I have like a $1 menu budget. So here's my best tip.
So hold on. This is what my designer says. She says champagne taste on a beer budget.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. But here was the most everyone that comes into my house loves it, says they like all the things about it, can't believe that we did it. Here's my number 1 tip for anyone redoing their house. But I don't know if you have it in Canada. Home Store Restore. It is the buildings that the Habitat for Humanity, when they build houses for people, it's where they put all of their overstock and then you buy it for nothing. So in other words, I have like an ornate frosted glass door for my bathroom that's like $500 and something. I literally got for $30. I have a giant jacuzzi bathtub. I got it for like $60.
That crushes me. If you knew what I paid for my jacuzzi tub.
Home Store Restore, and here's the best part. Anything that you buy at it is A, a tax write-off for you, and B, that money goes into building new homes for Habitat for Humanity people.
Oh God, please. I hope we have this in Canada.
It's called Home Store
I
Restored.
wrote it down. Did you see
It's-
me? I wrote it down.
Part of Habitat for Humanity. That's my tip. Don't say you never learned anything on these shows.
You should have one tip at the end of every show from now on.
Right.
Just a completely irrelevant life tip.
We do.
Okay, good.
We do that. And we will be back, most relevantly, tomorrow night
Yes.
with Hira after the double eviction. So we will see you guys all then.
Thanks for
Yes.
thanks for remembering me after so long. It's a pleasure to be a twinkle in your eye.
Everybody loves you, and you are one of the people at the beginning of every season. I ask people, who do you want to come on? Who do you want to see this season? And they say you every
Oh, that's
season.
nice. My fans are pretty diehard. Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Liza, I'm glad we finally met.
This is great. Please, if we have any sort of it's not going to be a finale, but if there's any sort of function, you guys better be there.
We will be there.
2023.
We will be there. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to follow all of us on socials. The links will be below this video. Share the show. Make sure you're following. We'll see you guys all tomorrow night with Hira. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.